This is a story of courage, hard work, and destiny. A story that proves if you have the will to change your circumstances, nothing can stop you. A few years ago, in the bustling city of Mumbai, lived a man named Subhash, with his wife Nirmala and their 3 young children. They were very poor and had no home of their own. Subhash earned a meager living as a street performer, doing various tricks to entertain His wife Nirmala would play the drum to accompany him, and their eldest daughter, 6-year-old Maya, even performed small tricks herself. Her younger brother Mohit, just 5, would help with simple acts, while their youngest sister Meera, only 2 years old, would sit quietly and watch them, a silent observer of their daily struggle. One fateful day, Subhash was taking his family to nearby villages, hoping to earn a little more from their street shows. The city was unforgiving, but the villages sometimes offered a more generous audience. As they traveled, a terrible accident struck. A speeding vehicle hit Subhash, and he died right there on the spot. Nirmala screamed, her voice filled with shock and rage at the driver. "Can't you see? Why didn't you stop? What have you done?" But her desperate cries fell on deaf ears. The driver didn't even slow down. He just sped away, leaving a shattered family in his wake. Nirmala clutched her children, her body shaking with sobs. "Oh God, my life was already so hard. Now who will support us? Where will we go? He was my only support," she cried helplessly. But as the old saying goes, a savior rarely comes for the poor, with no other choice. Nirmala performed her husband's last rites right there and then returned to the city, her heart heavy with grief and her future shrouded in uncertainty. With her husband gone, Nirmala's struggles intensified. To feed her children, she was forced to beg. Sometimes she would sit at the railway station, other times at a bus stop, holding out her hand for any spare change. But her daughter Maya hated it. Even as a child, Maya was stubborn and had a strong sense of pride. One day, she couldn't hold it in any longer. "Mother," she asked, "why do we beg? Why don't we work instead?" Nirmala looked at her daughter, her eyes filled with helplessness. "Nothing can be done against fate, my child," she sighed. "Your father has left us forever. Our difficulties have only grown. No one can change what is written in our destiny. Trying to find a better way." Nirmala started collecting plastic and glass bottles from heaps of garbage. The money she earned was barely enough to afford 1 meal a day for her family. It was a grueling, thankless job. But fate, it seemed, had an even crueler test in store. Surrounded by dirt and filth day after day, Nirmala fell seriously ill. Suddenly, all the responsibilities of the family fell onto the small shoulders of Maya, who was now just 7 years old. The little girl who once performed small tricks for fun was now the sole provider for her sick mother and younger siblings. One afternoon, while Maya was rummaging through a pile of trash, a fancy car pulled up nearby. A rich boy, no older than her, threw a plastic bottle out of his window. It landed just inches from her feet. He leaned out and shouted mockingly, "Oh no, I missed hitting that girl. Useless beggar. Look how dirty she is. Who knows where these people come from or how unhygienic they are." His cruel words pierced Maya's heart like an arrow. She stood there, frozen, the laughter from the car echoing in her ears. That single moment changed everything. That day, Maya made a solemn promise to herself. "I will never pick garbage again," she vowed. "I will do some respectable work." She went home and counted the few coins she had earned. She kept 50 rupees aside and used the rest to buy some food for her mother, brother, and sister. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. Her mind raced, thinking about what work she, a 7-year-old girl, could possibly do. As the sun rose, a new determination dawned in her heart. She had made a decision. Maya decided to sell flower garlands, or gyaras, at traffic signals. She used her 50 rupees to buy fresh flowers and thread, and with her small, nimble fingers, she wove them into beautiful garlands. She stood at the busy intersections, her hopeful eyes scanning the cars, her small voice calling out, "Gyra, please, buy a gyra." Days turned into weeks, and slowly, things began to improve. She was earning more than she ever did collecting bottles, and more importantly, she felt a sense of dignity in her work. One evening, Maya was selling garlands with her friend Sheet. It was getting dark, and they hadn't sold much. The streets were starting to feel unsafe. Sheetal grew anxious. Maya, it's getting late, she said. Let's just force people a little to buy so we can go home. Maya shook her head. No, Sheetal, we don't know what kind of people they are. It's not safe. But Sheetal was desperate. She ignored Maya's warning and ran into the crowd of cars, pleading, Please buy, sir, 2 garlands for just 10 rupees. Suddenly, a man in a car, annoyed by her persistence, reached out and slapped Sheetal hard across the face. She stumbled back, crying in pain and shock. Maya rushed to her side and pulled her away. I told you, she said gently. We don't know these people. Through her tears, Sheetal sobbed. But how else will we eat? At least, we eat once a day. What about those who haven't eaten for days? Why does God give such different lives to people? Why are we so unlucky? Maya looked at her friend, her own heart aching, but her resolve unshaken. You are right, Sheetal, she said calmly. Life isn't fair, but we are the ones who must break these chains of poverty. If we get everything without effort, we will never value it. Just wait and see. We will change our destiny, I promise you. Maya faced every difficulty with unwavering courage. The years passed. She continued to work hard, selling garlands, taking on odd jobs, and ensuring her family was always fed. Her mother's health improved, and her siblings were able to stay in school because of her tireless efforts. At 22 years old, Maya was still working hard to support her family. It was then that she met Banu, a kind young man who was struggling just like her. He worked for a local caterer, learning the ins and outs of the food business. They found comfort in each other's company, sharing stories of their hardships and dreams for a better future. One day, Banu came to Maya with an idea, his eyes shining with excitement. Maya, he said, why don't we do work that gives us respect as well as money? I've been watching, and there's good profit in wedding decorations. We can turn old things into something new and beautiful. I know about food, and you are so creative. Together, I think we can do wonders. Banu had managed to save 10,000 rupees, a fortune for them. He spoke to a couple of his friends, who were also eager for a chance to build something of their own. All 4 of them pooled their money and their skills and started a small event management business. At first, it was incredibly difficult. They had no contacts and no reputation. Days turned into weeks, and they didn't get a single booking. Doubt began to creep in, but Maya refused to give up. Then, one day, a glimmer of hope appeared. Maya ran into an old friend from her neighborhood. My wedding is next month, Maya, her friend exclaimed. You must come. After learning that about 100 people would attend, an idea sparked in Maya's mind. She took a deep breath and said confidently, If your father gives us just one chance, I promise you, we can manage your entire wedding beautifully and within a small budget. The family was hesitant. They were a brand new, unknown company, but seeing the passion in Maya's eyes and knowing the budget was tight, they decided to take a chance. They agreed. This was the opportunity they had been waiting for. Maya and her team worked day and night. They poured all their creativity, energy, and heart into this one wedding. They used their ingenuity to make decorations from simple materials, turning the venue into a magical space. Banu managed the catering, serving delicious food that tasted like it came from a 5-star hotel. They thought of every little detail, ensuring everything was perfect. When the wedding day arrived, everyone was stunned. The guests couldn't believe their eyes. Maya's friend's father was overjoyed. Ekameto Maya, his eyes filled with gratitude. I never imagined such a grand wedding could be possible with such a small budget, he said, shaking his head in amazement. This is the most beautiful wedding our family has ever seen. Word of their incredible work spread like wildfire. From that day onward, Maya and Banu's business began to grow. One contract led to another. Small events turned into big ones. They were no longer the struggling kids from the street. They were becoming successful entrepreneurs. Soon, Maya and Banu got married, their love story a testament to their shared journey. They bought their own house, a dream they once thought was impossible. Maya arranged a beautiful wedding for her sister Mira and gave her brother Mohit a key role in their thriving business. But Maya never forgot where she came from. She started a foundation to help poor people just like her, giving them the same chance she had fought so hard for. She showed them that education isn't the only path to success. With strong determination, courage, and relentless hard work, anyone, absolutely anyone, can change their destiny.